question for you. Is there any belief that is believed that is any better than any other belief that is believed?
They're all equal. All beliefs create insanity. They facilitate ignorance. It's not necessarily an ignorance that can be seen, because people are still smart. They still can make a lot of money. They still have perhaps a huge amount of knowledge and might know big words and all of that sort of thing, but they don't have any intelligence. Their intelligence dies. For every belief born, a bit of intelligence dies, and the bigger the belief grows, the smaller intelligence becomes, so that we have a situation where knowledge is the deterrent to intelligence, and knowledge runs this planet. Knowledge is the head honcho, if you will. The big leader.
But don't you have to admit that a certain amount of knowledge is needed to put together a deck? And would you fault a teacher for teaching how to build a deck? So make a distinction there, because I'm trying to make a distinction between what it is you're talking about and the application of it. What context are we talking here?
Well, that's simple. That's a physical action of building a deck. So if you don't know what a quarter an inch, an eighth of an inch, a 16th, a 32nd, 120, a 64th, 128th of an inch, or an inch and 5/8 or an inch and 3/8, if you don't know what all of those things are, then you would have to learn measurements, and then you'd have to learn a 2/4, 2/6, 2/8, 2/10, 2/12. Then you'd have to learn what are the stress measurements of each of those, meaning how far can a 2/4 stretch unsupported, and how far can a 2/6 stretch unsupported, or supported on both ends, before you have to support it in the center. So all those things are physical requirements to be able to build a deck. So if you had never measured anything and never built a deck, then I would say with you that you are ignorant in the domain of deck building, which would then mean measurement and stress levels and pounds per square inch and all of the nuances, if you will, of building a deck. But if you came to me and said, well, I'm a deck builder, then and you began building a deck, and I said, cut 1.5 inches, and you'd say, where's 1.5 inches? Then I'd say, well, you're lying. You're not a deck builder. Go ahead.
Yeah, but isn't that not knowledge? I mean, this is what I'm trying to make clear up, is the context in which you speak. Because I've noticed that you speak in your own context, and then people come along and misconstrue the context. They don't see the context a lot, Edward, in terms of the way you speak. And I don't know if that's intentional or it is something that they're doing unconsciously. I have no idea.
Well, it's something, who knows? After 8 years of operating this room, there's one constant that happens in this room, and that is that, and it's true of people on this planet. Everybody knows everything when they come in here, from the standpoint of psychologically. They know if there's a God or not. They know all of the ins and outs of their entire life. They've got it all put together in the exact manner that the life is. And if they hear me saying some things that they agree with, then they perhaps go away saying, "Oh, you ought to go to that guy's room. He's really smart." But then after the third day, they come in and I say something that they don't agree with. They go out of the room probably, and they run around saying, "You got to stay away from that idiot's room. He's really dumb." So for the most part, it has to do with what the person already knows and whether or not they agree with what I say or not. They know everything, in other words.